What's up, everyone? Today we are looking at Imperius. Imperius is a card drafting game for 2 to 4 players, and I have the game set up here for a 4-player game. 2-player uses some special rules, and I just wanted to set it up to kind of show each step in the game and give you a good feel of what type of drafting game it is. And so I said it was a drafting game. What does that mean? Well, if you've ever played Seven Wonders, then you've played a drafting game. Basically, everyone would have a set of cards, and it's different depending on how many players there are, and the rule books will teach you that. But what you would do is basically this would be another player would all have their own. You would look at your set of cards, pull one of those cards to save it, and then hand the rest of the stack to the next player. And then they would do the same thing going around until there are 4 cards in each person's hand. You would have 4 cards in your hand and 1 card left over. That 1 card that's left over is then put at the top row there. So what do I think about drafting? I actually like drafting games, and I think Seven Wonders is one of the best versions of that. People know that game very, very well. Some people absolutely love it. Some people not for them. And I think that if you know that mechanic in the game, if you like it, or you are like, I don't really care for it much, I think this game would be okay. What I don't think is if you absolutely hate that mechanic. If you hate drafting, you don't understand it, you don't get it, it gives you anxiety to try to figure out what card on the fly and people are waiting for you in a line. If that sounds like your nightmare, then this game is not going to be for you. Because drafting is the main mechanic. You are trying to set up cards in your hand to make the best line of cards strategically against other people who are playing their cards in order and get the most amount of points. So you're thinking of a lot of things in your mind. You have to remember all the cards that you had in your hand as you passed it, because you kept this one, but these ones went away as well. So then you know what was in those, and then now somebody else gave you theirs, and you don't know what card they took because they kept it, but you know what cards they didn't take because they're here, and then you go over. So you can expect what's happening. Each of the players has their house. This is very loosely based on Dune, one of my favorite science fiction books. I read it recently and absolutely love it. I know I'm 40 years behind, whatever, but you get your house. Then the house has a get hurt track, a wound track, I guess is what it would be called, and some points that you can use to claim the planets that are up there at the top. I'm going to grab a planet card here. And so here's a planet card up close. It has a picture of the planet, the name of it, and then if it is a special planet like this one is, it'll tell you face down cards deployed to this planet are considered to have infiltrate. And then it's worth 3 VP. So all the cards up there, I know they're pretty far away. They're the same thing. So the first one, second, and third have no specials. They are just the regular planets. The fourth one does have a special thing. And since I'm not going to play the game fully, I'm not going to go through every single thing. So now you see the board set up like this. Well, what is happening is that after you have collected your cards, and the reason I pointed out your house is that you can play other people's cards, but you're only going to get points if your house is what scores points. So as you can see, the green here, we have green there, green here. And what I may have chosen my own cards, but I might also take a card from somebody else to make sure that they can't play it as well. So that's some of the strategy there. So you're thinking about what card you should take, what it does, how they relate to each other. I'll stop right here for just a second to say this is a game that you're going to have to play over and over again to be good at. Think Magic the Gathering. You can understand these rules in 5 minutes. You can play this entire game in 20 minutes. If you just slap down cards, no problem. You'll be done in 20 minutes and you'll go, I have no idea what I just did. Wow, I won. Who cares? once you get into the strategy and the minutia of this game, it is exactly like Magic the Gathering, where you know those combos and you set up your deck to try to do that. Now, this has no deck building. Everything is randomized about what cards do get picked and which ones don't. Now, you could spend time and pick those out, but everyone benefits from them or gets hurt by them. It's not and there's no guarantee that you'll ever even get to pick that card. So that's not really what I'm talking about when I say Magic the Gathering. What I say with that is specifically that the depth of this game is a huge, huge, huge ocean, and you can play it as if it was a little puddle. You can just slap down cards and make this a 5-minute game, but I think you're missing a lot of what makes this game special, because this game could have 0 luck, and you could challenge yourself as if you were a little kid smashing all the buttons on Street Fighter, and then some older kid comes over and goes, I can beat you even if you mash buttons, and you still whoop them. You can end up doing that with this. Somebody who knows how to play versus somebody who just slaps down cards, and see if you could beat them with that randomized chaos that a newbie brings to it. So what happens is that I said you have 4 cards in your hand. The first card gets put out up at the top there. The last card that's left. So card number 1 goes, and it's always face up. Each row is for the planet up above it, and there can only be 5 cards. Other cards do have abilities that allow you to get a 6th or 7th card, but that's not what we're talking about right now. Again, we're not going to go into all of the things, but you can have 5. You can only ever have 2 face down cards, so some hidden information. So you can see there's 2 face down, 2 face down, 2 face down, 2 face down. Okay, and now they can be anywhere except for the top row, because the top row is put out by default. It is not put out selectively. It's just randomly of the cards that are left. So then now, as if we were to play our last game, our last, what are these called? In our last row, there we are. Our last hand is what I'm trying to say. So on our turn, we go, and maybe the first guy puts down this card. The second guy puts down this. Third one, no, he doesn't want to put it there. Puts it over here. And then we have an ambassador here. Okay, so say that went around and each of us chose what we do. Here's the next mechanic. And this mechanic is sort of like a flip and see, and it's the payoff. So this game is heavy strategy, like I said. You could play it as luck if you want to, but it has heavy, heavy strategy in it if you want to play it. I'm not going to say properly because that's too pretentious, but if you want to play it to what it was like designed for. You then look at this, and I'm going to move a little off from the camera here, and you flip these. Then you put them in order by their number up at the top. So let me grab one of the cards and bring it up. In the top left-hand corner, you have their number. You have their house symbol here and the color in the background, so you know this is the blue house. You have their strength in red, and then they have their, I think it's their like influence and their force. And then you see down here on the bottom some sort of instructions. So we'll go through these real quick. And you do them 1 row at a time. It goes just like this. So, we look up at the top, and we have 0, the Elder. Then we have the Elder of Nullification. Only Ashnon can be the force on that planet. So nobody else's force can be used. That's what this card says right here. Only Ashnon can be force on this planet. Then this one says Infiltrate. Infiltrate means that you can put an extra card on the list. So this one could have been used as a 6th card. Then this ambassador, if F on this planet, score 3 VP. We now know that because of this, he cannot be. So he scores no points. And then the assassin. Assassinate an enemy noble, but there are no enemy nobles. So that one is really, really simple. That's what could happen. This one basically did nothing. This one stopped this card from doing anything. This one would normally do an assassinate, but it couldn't. So then we flip over these. We do the exact same thing. So on this one, it's 0, 4, 6, 7, and 10. So this first card here says protect. So protect means that I can discard it to protect my noble. So I'm going to do that because I'm the green player. And you can see here, I have a noble. There's also an assassin. So the assassin is going to try to kill my noble. I can discard this and I lose the force that it gained me and the influence. But you can see now my person's going to live. So we do the ambassador. If F on this planet scored 3 VP. I have 2, 3, 4. This person, that color has 0. So I score 3 VP. So we go 1, 2, 3. Then we go down the line. The next one, assassin. Assassinate the enemy noble. But my noble was protected, so nothing happens. Then the noble. Score VP on this planet +1. So look here, 5 + 1, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we come down here to the commander. If S on this planet, score 1 VP and place a control token on this planet. So we have 1, 2. They only have 1. So I do have that, and I get a control token put up there on that planet. At the end of the game, the control tokens are worth points. Having the most amount of control tokens is worth bonus points. The first person to get to 20 ends the game. It doesn't end automatically. You will finish out the round to allow everyone a chance to score, and you can go past 20. But 20 is the trigger for the end of the game. Anytime you are assassinated, you'll move down this, and this is a punishment at the end of the game. You can see all the way down here is -8 VP. I'll bring in a couple of other cards so that you can kind of see what they look like and what they're doing here. So this one has this, which means it's always played face up. Diplomatic Envoy, it has Infiltrate, which means it can be played as a 6 card. And on this planet, if F on this planet places a control token on this planet. So this one is for anybody. You can see this one is different than these ones. It is not part of a house. So this one just says anybody who has F can get this card. You put a couple of these in the deck each time. Then the nobles. Now you can see I have different elders, and there's also different nobles that come in the game, and then you pull one of them out. So, we don't need the commander here. So this one is the Elder of Force, which has Infiltrate, the Elder of Nullification, which has, that only Ashnon can do that, and then there's also the basic elders that don't do anything. Except for stand there. And then like the noble here says score the VP on this planet +1. So that's pretty much it for this game. What do I think about it? The component quality is totally fine. The cards are thin, but they're sturdier than some of the ones that I complain about. These are kind of more standard. They do have the glossy finish rather than the linen, so that is kind of a minus to me. Everything else is of great quality. The tokens feel glued properly. The board is paperish. It's like a thick plastic card. Or I should say a very thin plastic card, a thick cardstock. But I think it holds up just fine for what this is. Overall, this game is incredibly inexpensive. It plays 4 players incredibly well. And I don't see why not a 2-player and a 3-player game wouldn't do very well as well. There's also 2 different expansion packs, which just give you some more planets, some more of the cards that are usable to everyone, and then some variations of some of the characters. It does not add an extra house or anything like that, which I don't think is really even needed because of how this game plays. The game itself, I love the drafting. The drafting is really fun and very manipulative. How you play the cards and how they reveal is also very, when people are into it and it's very close game, definitely brings that out of you and makes you really excited to play. The artwork on the cards is absolutely beautiful. It is very evocative of Dune, and that's a plus from me because I really like that series. I don't have any real complaints for this game. I mean, I wish the cards were a little thicker. I still want good cards. I don't sleeve my cards, and maybe I should for the games that I really like, because they end up being bent in the corners and things like that. And especially in a game like this, if you get one card bent down the middle, you're going to always know where it is, and you'll never be able to use that card strategically. So that is a very bad thing in a game like this, where the cards have to be randomized each time. So I probably will sleeve this, but I think that a heavier card stock would have been better in that situation. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. If you like it, please do not forget to like, comment, and of course subscribe if you want to see more reviews and unboxings. I also have tons of painting videos, and if you look down in the description below, you'll be able to see all of the products that I use. Thank you guys so much. Happy 2019, and I'll see you all soon.